So February has come and gone, and now we are starting off March. And with a new month coming on, it means it's time to do the previous month's Blu-ray haul. So as every month, it's not only just Blu-rays, it's also figures, pop vinyls, whatever else I pick up randomly throughout the month. This is probably my smallest haul ever in terms of Blu-rays because I picked up 5, which is very, very small for me. There's been literally nothing coming out, nothing really pop-wise that I really wanted. There's 2 pops here that came out this month that I wanted. Everything else, it's been out a while. So I'll start off doing the pops. Of course, I'm a massive Walking Dead fan, so I had to pick up a Carol Peltier pop. I never owned one. There's one that I think is based season 4, season 5. Never got it, so now I've got a Carol pop to go with the rest of my Walking Dead group. I wasn't gonna pick it up, even there's like, I'm not gonna pick up the Daryl just because I already have a Daryl, and the Maggie, I don't like it. She wore the hat in 2 episodes, and I think like 4 minutes of screen time altogether, so I don't really want the hat, but I don't know, if it goes down on price, if it goes really cheap, I might get it just so I have a Maggie, but I don't really like that Maggie pop. The 2 of these can go together though. These came on the 1st of February. Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed. Rocky, the franchise is definitely probably in my top 5. I love the Rocky franchise. I love all of the movies. Rocky 5 is the only one that I don't love, but even at that, I still enjoy it because it's a Rocky movie, and I find myself, whenever I rewatch the first one, it tends to be an entire marathon of the franchise. So when I saw these were coming out, because they made some years ago, I never got the ones years ago because it was before I started collecting pops, but when I saw they re-released them, had to get them. So I got Rocky and Apollo. I hope for Creed 3 later this year, which is in my top 10 most anticipated of the year. I hope you get an Adonis. Adonis would be really, really cool to get. But anyways, Rocky and Apollo Creed, which is really, really cool. As soon as they came up for pre-order, I immediately jumped on them because I needed them. And then final pop in the month, Robert Battenbat. His movie is coming out Friday as of recording this. Very, very excited. I was watching the Dark Knight trilogy again over the weekend, and I was kind of putting this off on hold, but I said, why am I putting it off on hold? Like Black Widow, for example, I put that one off on hold. Circumstances were a little different. There was a pandemic in the middle, so pops went away for a while. But I didn't buy those. I waited till after the movie, and then the ones I wanted, I couldn't get any more. I imagine that's not going to happen for the Batman, but I do have the Batman. The only other one on the back I'd be tempted to get is the Riddler, but I'm going to wait until after the movie, even though I just said I wasn't, but I'm going to wait again, see if I like the Riddler enough to get the pop, because I think that pop is really cool. I really am excited for that Batman movie. I ended up getting all the Lego sets as well for the Batman movie, besides the Batcave one. I got all the other ones anyways. I got a Marvel Legends, which I seem to be getting at least one of these a month now, which is pretty cool. I got Captain America, of course, Falcon Captain America. Only bad thing is you have to pick up all of these on the back to get his wings and the stand, but I really have no interest in getting any of them. Actually, I'd probably get Loki. Loki's the one I'd want in particular, but I have no interest in getting Bucky because like last month or the month before I picked up the Winter Soldier from the Winter Soldier movie, so I'd rather have that one than the new version of Bucky, so I don't know, but it's pretty cool. I have 2 Captain Americas and Steve Rogers. I got him from Infinity War, and I've got him from the first Avengers, so that's pretty cool to have this version of Captain America. I'd be tempted as well to get the what was the guy's name, Wyatt Russell, whatever the character's name was, that version of Captain America, and just have all 3 of them together, because I have all 3 of those versions of the pop vinyls together, so I'd be tempted to get all 3 versions of the Marvel Legends together. I'm also thinking about getting Agent Carter, so I might end up doing that as well, but who knows. And then I picked up this. It's been on my Amazon list for ages. It went down to a price, so I was happy enough to get it. The Quotable Negan. As I said at the start, I'm a massive, massive Walking Dead fan, and this is some of the most quotable lines Negan has ever given in the comic book. I'm not really going to say any aloud here because some of them are ridiculously inappropriate, but if you've read the comic, like if you've seen the Negan in the TV show, as in season 7, season 8 Negan when he was leader of the Saviors, if you thought what he was saying there was bad, read the comics. It's a lot, because he doesn't have to be filtered. He's filtered in the show, but in the comics he didn't have to be, so he was just dropping F-bombs left, right and centre, and it was bloody awesome. I loved Negan in the comic book series. I love him in the show. I can't decide which I like more because I love Negan that much. And then also, this is my favourite thing I picked up this month. The Art of the Walking Dead universe. I think this is my second Art of book. My first one was for Far From Home. I got that ridiculously cheap, and then this is the second one. I had it pre-ordered months ago, but then Amazon just cancelled it and it wasn't being sent out anywhere. But then one day it just dropped back in Amazon, and I immediately jumped on this because the minute they announced this, I desperately wanted to read it, and I got it. And then I came home and I just sat on the couch and I read it for however long it took. The minute I had it, I read the whole thing from start to finish, and I was kind of surprised I did. I was expecting to just flick through it and eventually go back to it, but I sat down, I read it, and I loved it from start to finish. This was easily the best thing I picked up this month. I love it. Even the cover artwork, all these big characters, like you've got people from The Walking Dead up here, you've got Fear the Walking Dead down here, you've got Walking Dead World Beyond down here, and on the back, everything. It's great. You get like stuff like, there's one in particular, when I opened up the first time, it was Daryl and his vest, and it says like Norman Reedus was the one who decided to remove one of the wings because Rick went. Honestly, it's a fantastic book. The behind the scenes stuff in it is just great. You get a backstory and all, like the iconic weapons, like Alicia's weapon. They give the backstory on how they wanted that, and they had to figure out how to get that into the show. We got Daryl's crossbow, everything. I love a part 2. I imagine they're gonna have to do a part 2 because it goes up to season 10. I don't think it even goes through the full half of season 10. I think it goes up to right in the middle, and then it's got like World Beyond doesn't go on to season 1 or season 2. They talk about season 5 of Fear. There's nothing about season 6 of Fear here. Like, they don't talk about the nuclear bomb or anything, but they talk about how they have the helicopter. So I would love another one of these, but I imagine it's going to be a few years down the road. But it's a pretty big book, and it is my favorite thing I picked up this month, and it's one that if you're a Walking Dead fan, I highly recommend you pick that up. But the finishings off, the Blu-rays. I picked up not only Trainspotting 1, but Trainspotting 2. I thought I owned these, but I couldn't find them anywhere, so I must have sold them a while ago. But Trainspotting 1 is a movie I actually, prior to buying these, I had only seen once. I remember watching it in a friend's house, and I just felt disgusted. I was eating Chinese, and then I couldn't eat Chinese again for ages just because of how disgusted I actually felt by watching this movie, where it was one of his favourite movies of all time. And then after that, I went home, I think the day or two after I watched the first, or the second one, which from memory, after watching them both once, I preferred the second one, but as you can see, still in the plastic. I only got it like a week ago, so I watched the first one the day it came or whatever, and I haven't got around to watching the second one. It'll probably be some stage this month, because I do actually want to see the continuation, because I really enjoyed the first one. I forgot how great that movie actually was, so I'll watch part 2 soon, and hopefully that lives up to the memory, because a lot of people were always shocked when I said I prefer the second one, so I wonder if that was me just being odd, or if the second one is just better than the first. Also, the Simpsons movie. I watched this randomly on Disney Plus one day, and I was thinking, why is it so hard to get this on Blu-ray? Then I just looked it up on Amazon. It was right there, immediately jumped on it. This is a fantastic movie. It's hilarious. It's The Simpsons show was never one I watched religiously. I'd watch it from time to time as a kid. For some reason my mom never wanted us to watch it, so we didn't really watch it that much. But I do remember seeing The Simpsons movie in the cinema, and it's one I had on DVD. I watched it on DVD, and then I bought it on iTunes, and I watched it a little bit when I was like 13, 14, and I hadn't watched it for ages. And then Disney Plus came, but just came one day. I was thinking, I want to watch the Simpsons movie, so I put it on. Now I've got the Blu-ray. It is a great comedy. I'd love to get a second one, but I don't think they want to do a second one. I think they said they'll do a second one if the show wraps up, but I don't know if the show's ever going to wrap up, so who knows. One of the new releases from either, I think it was the first week or the last week of January, or first week of February, last week of January, Ghostbusters Afterlife. I picked up the Blu-ray. I thought the 4K cover was god-awful, and I couldn't find this one or the next one. The 4K was ridiculously hard to find. I don't know why it was so hard to find, but Ghostbusters Afterlife, anyways, in my top 10 last year. I really enjoyed Ghostbusters Afterlife. I went in with expectations where I am a big Ghostbusters fan. I was very excited for it, but I was also nervous just because it had been so many years. We had the 2016 one, which is a movie I hate, but I'm a massive Ghostbusters fan. I don't even know if you can actually see it, but I've got the big Ecto 1 here. I've got a Ghostbusters poster right here behind me. So I love the Ghostbusters. The original's in like my top 5, maybe top 10 of all time. So this movie, I loved it. I really loved it. I loved the ending scene with all our OG Ghostbusters. Even throughout it, I can't remember the character's name, but this one right here, she was a standout to me. Even her friend Podcast, Finn Wolfhard, I thought was a throwaway character. Him and his love interest, I wasn't really a big fan of him. But the two kids and of course Paul Rudd, fantastic. I haven't rewatched it yet, as you can see it's still in the plastic, but I am excited to rewatch it because it is one of the standout movies of last year. And then last Blu-ray is a movie that was in my top 5, I want to say, if not top 4. Last Night in Soho. I went in for this one excited just because it was Edgar Wright. I knew nothing about it. I was going in, I didn't even know this actress was in it, who Thomasin McKenzie, I think her name is, if I'm reading that correctly. I just thought it was Anya Taylor-Joy. I thought Matt Smith was involved. I'm a massive Doctor Who fan. I got a mug on my desk right here with all a bunch of sonic screwdrivers. So Matt Smith in the movie, I was very excited, but I knew nothing about it. And as it was playing out, I was so confused, especially because it starts off with her. I'm thinking, is Anya Taylor-Joy not the main actress here? And I was going on, and I was just honestly blown away. It's visually gorgeous, a fantastic story, a story that I was honestly blown away by. It's my second favorite of Edgar Wright's movie. I'd be very surprised if anything can ever top Hot Fuzz, because I love that movie that much. But Last Night in Soho is honestly a fantastic movie, and it's probably my favorite horror movie of last year. About halfway through, I was thinking, this isn't very horrific. I don't know why people were saying this is Edgar Wright's first horror movie. And the second half came out, I was thinking, okay, it's not a horror, like it's not like Freddy or Jason, but this is a really great thriller that I would really recommend you see it, because I don't think a lot of people did see it. Like, I had to go out of my way to see it in cinema because not a lot of places were actually showing it. But if you haven't had the pleasure of actually watching Last Night in Soho, do go out of your way and watch it, because honestly it's a fantastic movie. But that is everything I picked up this month. I don't know anything that's coming out, new releases for next month. I think Spider-Man's like the 1st of April, so that's the only thing I know that's coming out. There's probably some big thing coming out this month I am completely forgetting about, but if there is and I have an interest in getting it, I will be picking it up. I don't know about Pops, I don't know about anything else, but if you want to see my haul at the end of March, make sure to click the subscribe button so you can come back and see it. I'm also doing weekly Walking Dead reviews for every single episode. So if you want to hear my thoughts on the greatest TV show of all time, click the subscribe button and come back so you can hear all of that. And as always, thank you for watching.